Here's how to play Magic Dragons. Separate the reference cards and the bid cards from the rest of the deck. Give a reference card to each player and place the bid cards to the side of the playing area. We'll talk about how to use the bid cards later. Shuffle the deck and deal 7 cards to each player. Players may look at their cards and arrange them in any order they choose. Set aside the remaining cards. They're not needed for this round, but will be used again later in the game. Finally, grab a pen and piece of paper for keeping score. And that's it. You're ready to play Magic Dragons. The goal of the game is to be the first player to reach 40 points. You earn points at the end of each round for the card stacks you capture. Here's how to play your cards. Players take turns placing one card from their hand onto the table. Most of the cards in the deck are dragon cards. Dragon cards come in 5 different colors. There are 7 cards of each color, numbered 1 to 7. Dragon cards are played onto card stacks according to color. The first dragon card played of each color starts a new stack. After that, a dragon can only be played onto the stack if it is the same color and a higher number than the card it's placed onto. You can start a new stack only if there are no other stacks of that color currently visible on the table. When you play a dragon card onto a stack, you capture the stack and move it into your play area. If someone later plays an even higher numbered card onto that stack, they capture it from you and move it into their play area. In other words, the card stacks move around the table from player to player until the round ends. Whoever has the stack of cards in their play area at the end of the round scores points for those cards. Got it so far? Let's make it more interesting. In addition to dragon cards, there are 3 types of spell cards. Spell cards can be played onto any dragon card. They have special powers that affect the card stacks. Ice spells freeze a stack wherever it is. A stack with an ice spell on top cannot be captured or moved for the rest of the round. Fire spells destroy a stack. Move the stack to the center of the table. It cannot be captured or moved for the rest of the round and will not score points for any player. Color spells change a stack's color. Move the stack to the center of the table and name a color.
Let's go green.
The next player to play a dragon card of that color onto the stack captures it and moves it into their play area. From there, it acts like any other card stack. Spell cards can only be played onto dragon cards. You cannot play a spell card on top of another spell card, and you cannot use a spell card to start a new card stack. There is one more thing you need to know about spell cards. When a stack has a spell card on top, that stack no longer has a color. This means that whatever color is underneath is now available for someone to start a new card stack of that color on their turn. Now that you know how to play the cards, let's talk about bidding. Bidding happens before each round begins. Players examine their hands and predict how many card stacks they expect to have at the end of the round. The player to the dealer's left begins by taking a bid card from the bid deck and placing it face up in front of them. Bidding continues in a clockwise direction, with each player choosing from the remaining bid cards until all players have made their bid. Once the bidding is done, you're ready to start the round. The player to the dealer's left starts the first card stack by laying down a dragon card in their play area. Play continues in a clockwise direction, with each player playing 1 card per turn. You must play a card each turn unless you have no cards you can play. If you cannot play any of the cards in your hand, you skip your turn until you are either able to play a card or the round ends. The round ends when every player has either played all their cards or cannot play the remaining cards in their hand. Players then add up their points, and a scorekeeper records the scores on a piece of paper. Here's how the scoring works. Players receive 1 point for each card in their play area. Subtract 2 points for each card remaining in a player's hand. Note that you cannot score below 0 on any round. If you got your bid correct, add the number of bonus points written on your bid card. There's no penalty for an incorrect bid. Once all the scores are recorded, gather the cards for the next round. Keep the bid cards separate from the rest of the deck. The player who started the previous round becomes the dealer. Then shuffle all the remaining cards together, including the ones not used in the previous round, and deal 7 new cards to each player. The player to the dealer's left starts the bidding. The first player to reach 40 points is the winner. If 2 or more players get to 40 in the same round, the player with the highest point total wins. If it's still a tie, the winner is the player with the most cards in their play area at the end of the final round. And that's how you play the game. By the way, keep the reference cards handy while you get the hang of it. If you still have questions, make sure to read the instructions included with your game, and check out magicdragonsgame.com for frequently asked questions and more. And now you're ready to play Magic Dragons.